I ride bus 17.
Suck it on.
17. And it's funny.
Class, settle down. Class, settle. Dylan,
Dylan.
I'm Mr. Rangel. Mr. Rangel.
Call me Dylan?
I assume there's another kid in the class named Dylan.
Oh. I'm like,
Just call me.
it's not my name.
Okay. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to the Wibbly Wobbly Walflrz podcast.
Yes.
Your one-stop shop for nerdy talk. Like that?
I do.
Yeah.
That's very fancy.
I used to do that in the old podcast. There was more to it, but that was the thing I remembered, I think. One-stop shop for nerd talk.
Well,
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that was it.
And mine will be kicking ass and breaking glass.
Nice.
I saw that on the news once when I was a kid, and I never forgot it.
But on the news?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was I don't even remember how old I was. I could have been so young, but there was a big fire, and some guy was asked by a news reporter like some question that obviously wasn't taken seriously, because that was the answer. He's like, kicking ass and breaking glass, and he just walks away. And I will never forget it. It stuck in my mind. I actually wonder if it's on YouTube.
Is it? Let's see if it's in there.
It could have been before. It definitely had to be before YouTube times.
Or just before it. Anyways, this is my sister from another Mr. Haley.
This is my brother from another mother, Morgan.
Hold on. Hold for applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Stop. Shut up.
Door.
I said I was gonna keep it going. Also, I don't want to remove it out of its package because I feel like I'd lose it. So it's always just in its package. Did you find it?
Here. I don't think so, because I'm just seeing a bunch of, it's no news clips. It's just people rhyming those words.
Hey, sorry we can't. Okay. You like it?
People.
Class.
Quit heckling me.
Class.
Being mean.
Today's theme is the classroom.
They're being mean.
So we've been off for a couple of weeks. A month. Has it been a month?
Like a minute.
Yeah.
Definitely early April. If not, maybe late March.
Oh, wow. I wonder who's listening now. Probably
Right.
that cousin of yours and...
My sister-in-law. My cousin of yours. She's so much more than a cousin.
And hopefully Foxy. That cousin of yours and Foxy.
Oh, wait, wasn't it Roxy?
Roxy.
Yeah, don't make them sad.
Sorry.
Last time I did that, it made him really sad. At least the emoji Roxy used made me feel really bad. So
We're talking about the gameplay for Five Nights at Freddy's, where what was it? Somebody in the chat?
Where we live stream and only 1 to 2 people watch the whole time.
But it was it was a fun person to hang out with.
Very helpful.
Foxy, who was I assume played the game many times. Shout out one time.
Roxy.
I think it was. Please don't be mad. I think it was Foxy because. No, Roxy because the game, the newer game.
Hurting feelings out there.
We're not doing a good job explaining things.
I gotta say, Roxy is one of those people I think about at 3 a.m. because we have no idea who Roxy truly is.
Yeah.
But they say they're from Ireland. either way, I would love to actually like reveal like people like that on the internet. Not reveal, find out who they are. I'm curious.
I want to keep it a mystery because I maybe we'll get back to playing it one day. Who knows? But I don't know.
PTSD. It was so scary.
This new Star Wars game looks fun.
I know. I've been watching. My husband's been playing it. Ian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been having a lot of fun.
How
I
far
keep
has he
needing
been
to
in?
jump in. I don't know. It's hilarious though, watching like the cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love them. Cause they're history washing, and as a Star Wars purist, I don't know. There's certain scenes where they change the thing so it makes sense how the movies are now because of the new trilogy. So there's certain little things that they tweak just a tiny little thing that wouldn't bother anyone except for a Star Wars nerd like me. We're like, hang on, you're rewriting history.
Like, I think I saw Darth Vader do the no scene instead of Luke screaming it.
Don't even get me started on that.
No. Actually, because now my sister-in-law is a subject here. Yesterday, we were talking about this movie called like Brigsby Bear. It's an obscure B movie that she's swearing like I need to watch and I want to, but Mark Hamill's in it. And so I'm like, oh, like Star Wars. And she's like, I don't know. And we're like, wait, what? And then later on, she's like, oh, the Luke Skywalker movie. And we're like, no, it's called the Star Wars.
Where did she know Mark Hamill from?
From Brigsby Bear. I'm like, it's not Luke Skywalker. It's not the Joker. It's not. Well, Skeletor, I think, is a new favorite for people. I fucking love that. I already broke the cussing streak.
7 minutes.
Okay. That ain't bad. But yeah, that cracked me up. Luke Skywalker movie.
Oh, it's on Hulu. Okay. Yeah. Have you seen this?
I truly know nothing about it.
Do you know
the way she like
what's his
raved
name?
over it? I'm
Kyle.
convinced.
He's on SNL. Kyle Mooney. Kyle Mooney. Do you know that guy?
I'm so bad with names. I should just look it up.
Yeah. Here.
Brigsby Burr.
I think it's actually no. I have no idea what it's about. But I've seen it a lot.
I know most of them. Okay, Andy Samberg's in it. I don't
think that's Andy Samberg. I think that's Kyle Mooney.
No.
Oh,
I'm looking at the cast.
Oh, okay. So all right, yeah, I'm looking at pictures. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
But also, they look alike.
Yeah, Kyle Mooney, Mark Hamill, Greg Kinnear, Andy Samberg. Like, no, how far are those? Who's Michelle Watkins? I don't quite know where I know her from, but I do know her.
I thought for a minute it might have been like a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, but it's not because Kyle Mooney takes off the mask and he's like a bear, a guy in a bear suit. I guess that's Brigsby.
Okay.
I've heard about.
She thinks this is amazing. I'm convinced that it is worth watching.
I heard a synopsis somewhere. No, it was intriguing. You got it in there? The synopsis or something for that movie?
I haven't found one.
Oh.
I'm looking at pictures just like you.
Yeah.
Images. What does this movie look like? Videos. Let's see.
Yeah, because I think I saw.
Yeah, there's a 2-minute preview. I'm not seeing a synopsis yet.
Let me see if I got it over here. It's about a bear who happens. The people are also asking, is Brigsby Bear a true story?
It sounds like a fiction.
The program sees the magical animatronic bear Brigsby doing a battle with evil wizards in the moon while also teaching multiplication.
That wasn't explained to me.
This is a fake nostalgia bit. What is that? Why is the internet okay? You know what? It's fine.
You know,
I might check it out. The
List.
show. Oh, here we go. The show Brigsby Bear's Adventures is a childhood television program produced for an audience of one. Jamie Poe. When the series abruptly ends, Poe's life changes forever as he sets out to finish the storyline himself. To do that, he must learn how to cope with the realities of a new world that he knows nothing about.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Interesting. This has been explained to me like 3 times. And y'all just need to see it.
No, this is good. At least we were very clear. Everybody, clap hands.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that seems kind of interesting. I saw a trailer or something that did not relay that information, but it felt like he was. It seemed more like he was becoming the bear,
Gotcha.
but in a silly way. So I'm like, this is interesting. I might check it out. But I had no idea it was this. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm surprised from like the synopsis, haven't seen it too. It actually sounds right up my alley. I do love a good B movie. Like From Dusk Till Dawn's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
movies are great.
And if it has Cal Mooney, Mark Hamill, and Andy Samberg, like that's fun day.
Oh yeah.
And Mark Hamill's like playing like a guy. He's not doing a Joker or a bit or anything. Like it looks like he's just a guy. How often do you see Mark Hamill just be a guy?
Not even. Nope, never.
Yeah.
He was What We Do in the Shadows. He was a vampire.
See. But did he sound like Mark Hamill, but just with vampire teeth?
He sounded like the Joker as the vampire, which was awesome.
Did they make him do the Joker?
Not the
Not
Joker
fully
necessarily,
Joker.
but he was kind
doing
of silly.
that evil.
He didn't get basically he didn't get paid like $70 for rent like 200 years ago, and so he came back to find the vampire who cheated him to get like $70.
I need to check that show out. I still haven't.
It's good.
Seen it.
It's like that What We Do in the Shadows, and then Our Flag Means Death. Same people.
Yeah, that's another one that I want to check out. I guess it's historically accurate.
Yeah. I think we talked about it on the last one or the one before that, but I had seen it, and it's like hands down now one of my favorite shows. Didn't expect it to be really good.
Yeah, I might give that one. I might give that a shot. Have you been watching Moon Knight?
I have. Yeah, I had to think about it because so much has happened this week. I'm like, did I watch this week's? Yeah, I like it.
How do you feel about that one?
I as far as shows go, it's a little more CGI than I'm used to from Marvel, even though there's tons of CGI, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like on the character itself.
Yeah.
I would like to see more tangible costume. That'd be really awesome.
I mean, it's tangible, but you can tell every single super Marvel suit is CGI. Like fact. Like look it up. Every suit that they have in the behind the scenes, it's a bit more puffier, so they can move around in.
Gotcha.
And they just like in post they just slim them all down. So it's always going to be CGI. But this one, I like this one. I like this.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I love now that we have we've brought in Viking gods, so Norse gods, the Greek gods, and now we have Egyptian gods, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you see the Thor Love and Thunder trailer?
I did.
Zeus is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Apparently,
excited.
also Hercules will show up.
What?
I mean, if Zeus is there, theoretically Hercules.
I knew Hercules.
And Hercules is a canonical like superhero in the Marvel universe.
Yay! I love Hercules.
Yeah.
The Disney movie made everyone love Hercules, but two, his story, his actual like mythological story is fucking awesome. So
yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I've always appreciated Hercules, but I've never gotten deep in a deep dive.
I would need to do a little more research to do a like deep dive combo about it right now, but because it's been a while. Like in school, I studied it for a minute.
Yeah.
But really awesome stuff.
Yeah, I want to check that out. I was going to give you two subject matters, but do you have anything?
I do not.
No?
It has been like a month. Like I promised you I'd come back with like I think I said I promise I'll come back with a couple topics, and I did not fulfill on that at all.
I think I thought about it early on in the week. I'm like, well, these are two different topics. But we can either talk about the way psychologically or otherwise or what have you, how romance and love is between two people, or we talk about Star Wars because Obi-Wan is next week.
Just like snorted. I hope they got that. I did see the trailer and I would need to see it again, but I'd be down to talk about either.
I was.
I always love the psychological like subject of just relationships in general.
I thought that would be a fun subject because I figured, all right, whatever. This podcast is a whatever podcast, so we can just dive into whatever. But also, we can talk about Star Wars.
we did just actually spend some times doing that.
Yeah.
Or some time doing that.
But in this case, it's a special occasion because hopefully this will be released the same week as Obi-Wan, maybe. So then I figured we can do like a crash course of what happened in Star Wars, maybe. I have no notes.
I was gonna say.
That's also like the other avenue. I have no notes.
Let's do it. Let's just jump into it. We'll bounce off each other. I'm a little less knowledgeable on Star Wars, but still love it, and I can ask you questions and stuff.
Okay.
I should watch the Kenobi trailer though.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Because I know I've seen it, but
it's interesting how people really hated the prequels because they weren't like true Star Wars movies or whatever. I don't even remember what the argument was.
I'm sorry.
But now retroactively, I see the new trilogy, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but like, I'm not gonna say it's not Star Wars because it is.
The new trilogy definitely
it's
lifted up the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like the prequel trilogy, and so many people disagree, and I break so many boys' hearts when I say that.
Yeah.
Like every time I see just this like glint in their eyes, like they're gonna cry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but it just was. I knew it was made for kids, but I didn't get to enjoy it that much as a kid. So when I watched it, I was a lot more
it hits different
adult, and I'm like, this is really not what I got from the first trilogy made from 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
But that was what I was expecting, and that isn't quite what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with the prequels, so I learned to love them, and then I got on the bandwagon and hated them.
Yeah.
And then I got off of it. I'm like, no, well, hang on. I did have fun with those, and yeah, some of the stuff that's in there is terrible. Like Jar Jar is kind of terrible, but also I kind of don't mind him now. Like he can hang around. It's fine. Like people were like, oh, like it's the worst thing. It's like, no. People back in the day would say that the Ewoks were the worst thing. It's like, no, we had Gungans.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
They were perfectly fine.
They did their job.
They're fluffy, they're surfed, and yeah, they actually contributed to a whole lot of the story. It wasn't like they were forced in there for the plush toys like all the other cute animals are, like totally pushed in.
Well, also, but they were.
But they were totally part of the story. They were just like sitting on the island or like.
They made it work. Like I guess originally it was supposed to be a Wookiee planet, and they're like, well, let's cut the budget.
Oh, that's funny. So people, that would have been more fun.
And
that truly would have been.
And then we saw that in the prequels.
Like, is it Star Wars if they don't make a lot of sacrifices?
Yeah.
And mess up a lot.
I think the movies are better when it's lower budget.
Yeah.
Like
the shows, honestly, I think bringing everything around.
back around to like
Mhm.
actual puppets and actual tangible things to look at.
Yeah.
And I like have you seen the volume? Have you heard about the volume?
Oh.
Both seasons of I assume the Mandalorian, any Star Wars right now, I guess, is shot in a giant room that's basically like a giant LED like screen,
Okay.
and they can see on the actual screen what the background is. So it's the
Ooh.
planet of Tatooine, and it's the Mandalorian hanging out with Boba Fett. So they'll record that in live, so the actors know where to look. The camera also sees what they see.
Yeah.
So everybody is in agreement of like this is where you can map out where we are. But all of that we see it on the show. The screen we've seen the screen has been on the show multiple times. They've only filmed on the screen.
That's awesome.
They've only been on outside in location once. With the Robert Rodriguez episode, but like
Okay.
every episode has been filmed in that screen environment. Especially now that the whole pandemic thing happened, they were being careful around it.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be super immersive. I can see how it'd be like easier and easier to be an actor as people like put these more real life tangible qualities in.
Yeah, and then that's how they'll put little set dressings in front of the screen. So like, oh, okay, this looks like an actual place, and you wouldn't,
rocks or chairs in or something like that.
But if you're like me, like a Star Wars nerd, you'll see the scene. You're like, all right, but you see a Mandalorian walk that way and then cuts away because he's about to hit the screen. They cut away. You're like, okay, and you can tell. You can see him walking and just about to hit the wall. If you're paying attention, like that kind of business.
Okay. I'll notice it next time I watch. I'll watch closer.
Don't, because
No?
it's really annoying.
I love finding stuff like that. I think it's funny to find like mess ups, or especially like when continuity is messed with.
Yeah.
Like when someone's like holding something and put it down, and the next scene they're like doing exactly what they were doing before, and you're going, wait.
Did you see Jeans Guy?
Jeans Guy?
Was it season 1 of The Mandalorian? There's a shot where it's him, Kara, and Griff. They're all just like shooting in a hallway, and the camera kind of like pans away from them, and as it's panning away, you can see just a guy. You can barely just see his jeans, like holding another camera in the shot, and they deemed him Jeans Guy because that's all you can really get from him.
Jeans Guy.
Yeah, look it up. I think people theoretically made him canon into the Star Wars universe. He's not, but everyone's like, no, he is. He was there. We saw him.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, yeah, I see it. He totally is in the shot. But with everything being so exciting, I can see how you like might miss it for a second.
They airbrushed him out.
Okay.
Cowards.
He was canon. We want it back.
Yeah, do it.
Like take away our Christmas special, and now it's Jeans Guy.
They're trying to play around with a filter that removes blood. Have you heard about this?
Removes blood?
Someone caught that they were watching The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and there was a part where it was a bloody scene where a guy got shot in the head, and there's just no blood. Where everybody would like, you would remember there was blood there because you saw the show and there was blood there. And like once it got into questioning, Disney Plus had to address and like, oh yeah, we're trying to like, now that we have parental control, we want to try to like get rid of the blood on certain scenes.
I mean, I guess like, is there still the choice to watch it the other way?
Yeah.
Okay, so like that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just kind of silly. It's like, all right, well, you don't have to go that extra step, but all right, fine if you have the opportunity.
Does like being
Disney
church goer and like part of homeschool groups, it absolutely pulls in more money to do things like that. Like you will get a much bigger audience if you're willing to not just like bleep out cuss words, but like just take it out. And I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
So like anything, any sexual innuendo, get that out. Like
I got a random advertisement for one of those where it's like, yeah, it just removes all the violence, all the sex in the movie. It's like, right, at that point, then why are you watching?
I mean, I knew some parents that pre-watched Monsters Inc. because they thought it would be too scary for their kids, and like things like that. You will make more money the like less harmful, quote unquote, it is for your kids with those people.
Sure.
But nah, it is.
I get it. It's fine. It's an extra, and it's Disney. It has to be an extra step for them.
That's why I'm thinking like they got the money to take the extra stuff, and they know it'll pay off.
That first episode of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was it the first? Yeah, where he goes into a village and he fights like a whole bunch of like villagers, blacks out, and then wakes up with all the villagers on the ground and there's blood on their head, and he has like a bloody.
Yes.
Did that blood seem fake? It looked very fake to me.
I don't quite remember. Let me see if
you can, like Moon Knight fighting villagers. See if that. But like it kind of looks, because his whole hand is bloody and he's holding like a scarab in his hand, and his whole hand is bloody, but it's a weird shimmer, and then that was also around the time that they started doing the parental control thing, and then they found that thing in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Wow, Star Wars talk, everybody.
And now we're just back at Marvel.
Anyways,
Break
so
take 5.
Took a minute to look at the video. I would say look at actually play it, because it's not necessarily the face. It's Oscar Isaac is holding a thing in his hand and it's kind of bloody, and then there's people around him on the ground who have bloody faces. You don't really see their faces, but there's like kind of bloodish around them.
And now he's bloody. They're going out. The blood around the heads don't look, like from far away, they don't particularly look fake.
Yeah.
But I think they would definitely be flowing out more if we're talking about reality. Yeah. But movies don't really do that either.
Yeah. And we'll have to see once they do like official parental control changes whether or not that's a thing. But it definitely feels like they're trying to just like erase blood.
It's also hard. So the reason like there's usually prop experts that kind of know how to make different kinds of blood is because blood is hard to mimic. Like when it dries out, like usually the reason his face looked kind of realistic is the way it was drying out around the spots had this cracked effect, and that's what blood does.
Yeah.
So when you're doing things like dyed sugar, it is kind of hard to get that effect because it's more smeary, or like ketchup. You have to find a way to like.
It's obvious more fake, and this looked more real, but shimmery. I don't know.
It was a little.
I think also
it was a little more dark
on a bigger screen. I think you can see it more.
I'll have to actually go back to Disney Plus and see that part again.
Yeah.
Plus that episode was awesome.
Yeah, the whole series has been amazing.
Will we be doing too many spoilers if we even talked about the episodes?
I mean, I think we can talk about it. We can spoil it. I mean, it's a TV show.
Too far from Star Wars.
we'll get to Star Wars. We'll get to Star Wars. But first, let's talk about Moon Knight.
We'll get to Star Wars. It's like this whole episode. We'll get to Star Wars.
We can spoil it. If you haven't seen it, I don't know.
Then stop now.
Maybe skip around.
We're about to say spoilers.
It's about 30 minutes, so I would say if we get any monetization from this, any money from this, you did your job. We'll have a spoiler here. I would hope you'd watch it because it's such a good show.
The Sakura. It was the Sakura. Wow. psychiatric ward that was awesome.
Yeah.
Dang, this about
Yeah.
me.
I didn't see too many people fussed about it. I thought people would like start saying like, what's going on here? Like this doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I haven't heard anything, but
Oh, I'm still so confused, but like I know that it's for a purpose.
yeah.
Like we're gonna have this explained to us.
Did you watch this last week's episode?
Mm-hmm.
The trauma episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean they answer it there, don't they? What the trauma word is?
I don't think we. I mean, we know that he died, but
he died. So the big hippo, she's like the goddess of like nurture and children.
Something like that. I'm gonna look her up.
Telese or something.
Egyptian
hippo
goddess hippo.
And
Taweret.
Talret. That's right.
Taweret.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the goddess of motherhood, I believe.
Protection and yeah, basically motherhood.
It seems like this is her first day on the job sort of situation, which is kind of weird too.
Yeah,
right?
She was really like confused and having a hard time.
Why is she bringing us to Death's doorway? That's kind of weird. Like I think there's something to it.
Yeah, like who is supposed to?
Anubis.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And the bad guy, he's idolizing Anubis's pet. It's a crocodile.
Yeah, really scary.
Anubis or something like that. Sounds like Anubis.
Amit, yeah. Devourer of the Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, so basically, what is it? I forgot the dog. Anubis. Anubis will take you on the boat.
Yeah.
Will judge you like she does with the scales. It's like, all right, you did good, you did bad. You did bad, he throws you overboard, and then that crocodile will go ahead and devour you.
Okay.
That's how it's supposed to be. It's not like that at all.
So the crocodile's not there.
The crocodile is possessing Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, because whenever Khonshu was put into that little statue, then they're like, this has happened to only 2 gods, and then it pans out in this room where it's like 12 gods are trapped, and you're like, so they gotta be them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
So the hippo was explaining that this is an afterlife, and she referenced the Wakandan afterlife as another plane of existence that is also in existence.
That concept I thought was
astral,
quite like a beautiful concept, honestly, because it's so inclusive, and I think
that's why I love the multiverse idea.
Yeah,
because like, all of it can be true.
You'll get to go, like, you still get to believe wholeheartedly, and with love, like the gods and the afterlife you're going to, you're going to be with your family and what you expected. And as far as like a universe goes, how wonderful.
Yeah.
People are so afraid of that in our world, of like dying in the unexpected. And in this case,
it's something more, it's more welcoming, and it's whatever you feel.
Yeah. For
Mark, it kind of like triggered a psych ward because that's all his brain's ever really understood.
Yeah. So
that's all his brain could come up with is a psych ward.
Yeah.
But if he left that plane, he did. He left the plane, and it was on that boat.
Yeah.
But like in Black Panther, he was like in a African savannah.
Yeah.
But the bad guy, when he went through it, he was in an apartment in was it Detroit, where he grew up. It was his dad's old apartment.
I don't. I'm drawing a blank on this one.
Oh, spoilers for Black Panther. Yeah, when the Killmonger, the bad guy.
Okay, sorry. I'm all back.
Yeah, he goes under to pass some sort of test or whatever, and the way that he perceives the afterlife is his dad's old apartment in Detroit. It's not Detroit. I think it's another place. But you can see the planes outside of his window, because that was his safe spot. That was somewhere where he felt, loved in that.
Oakland.
Oakland. Jesus, that was killing me.
I was like, we'll get this right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oakland. Yeah.
Jobu's safe house.
That's the one. Because that's all you ever knew as a kid is that's the safe place. So it's just kind of a cool way to like show that anything is valid.
Yeah.
Thanos when he did the snap and he was in that orange plane.
Yeah.
That's an area. Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool. It's like it's really cool what they're doing with this show.
I'm so cynical and realistic in real life, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
this Marvel fiction reader is so beautiful.
That's why I
so
love
inclusive.
I love
it's
it
like
so
God
much.
doesn't exist. You're going in the ground forever. The worm food.
They're like, well, God's a superhero if you want to meet him. It's like, really?
Which one? Which superhero?
Which Chris? But yeah, I've been having fun with it. That was a emotional episode.
The
His mother.
Oh, I know, that was so sad.
Yeah. I found out that that's real world. That's how DID happens.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't like some sort of little fantasy. That's how it happens.
It's, I think, one of the things I appreciate most about the show. I was talking to Ian about this, because you're absolutely right. Like that is what happens, and it also is great that they updated. They didn't call it like multiple personality disorder anymore. Like they've actually updated with in the cinematic universe from the comic books. I'm sure.
Yeah, they got a actual psychiatrist at work in the field.
Yeah,
to work on it.
Like it is real crazy shit to be a part of that. I think there was like a story I heard a long time ago where this poor old man, but it's kind of a cute one, like given the circumstances. But he never knew what happened on Sundays because he would wake up, put on roller skates, and he was known every Sunday for like skating in this park.
Mm-hmm.
And then people would see him being like his regular business self on the weekdays. They're like, what? Uh-huh. And so eventually he finds out because people are like, what's going on? Like these are two different people.
Right.
That he had DID. Yeah. Like so interesting.
Yeah.
But like also he wasn't, hurt or like harming anyone. He
No.
was just roller skating.
Sure.
But yeah,
his life.
like really interesting how that affects people.
It's interesting. Yeah. I like it was so impactful the way that he just kind of just snapped into Steven. It's like, wow, damn, like just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been such a fantastic show, and they've been doing a really good job not only like trying to like make it fantasy, but also leaving the MCU kind of out of it.
Yeah.
Like her talking about the ancestral plane was kind of the really big reference to the MCU.
Yep.
There's nothing really. Like they're not talking about a Captain America.
None of them have come in.
Yeah,
I don't think once.
Yeah. And I'm kind of wondering if that's the next step for the TV shows. At least it's like we'll introduce a guy in and out. He doesn't have to deal with the MCU. But if you like him enough, here he comes.
It's probably a good way to get more people into the MCU because they won't feel like they're going to miss a ton.
Yeah, it's superhero enough because I don't think there's enough superhero going on in the show, I'm fine with it. Like I'm at the point with comic book movies where the less superhero stuff that actually happens, I enjoy. I still love the superhero stuff. I want to see the superhero. That's why I go and watch the movies. But like, whenever they get into like deep stuff like that, it's like, all right, what is your thesis on this, Captain America? Like, what do you think about racism? Like that sort of thing.
I think the superhero movies, like under the umbrella in general, have over time gone from we are like superhuman and everyone's looking up to us. What an awesome kick-ass movie.
Yeah.
To now it's more relatable. They want superheroes to seem like something that can be attainable minus the power itself that they tend to come with. And I think that's awesome. Like Moon Knight with the DID.
DID.
Yeah. That's one way to connect with people.
Also, have you noticed the giant inclusiveness that's been happening? Not only is it DID, it's also Egyptian culture. In very appropriate Egyptian culture. It's not like, oh well, you know, they just wear turbans and you understand. It's like, no, they show like the director of the I can't remember the name of the director. Sorry, but like he was saying that there's one episode where Mark was kind of just roaming around the city, and he just wanted to show what a realistic, you know, Egyptian city would look like. Like no flares, no nothing. That's what it is. A busy street.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that I appreciate that. 'Cause, all right, cool. That's a piece of the world that people don't normally get to see.
It's definitely more and more inclusive. I wonder what other like countries and like their cultures will bring into it in the future, because some have been quite unexpected even.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
the whole Chinese culture.
I don't know enough about it. Like, and I'm sorry for that, but
No.
It definitely, like, I was taught a lot, and I did go and like do some research afterwards to see like how real some of that stuff was, and it is.
Well, a lot of accuracy. Like the second half of the movie where it takes place in like this, what is it, Talal, this magical universe.
Yeah.
A lot of those animals that were in there are like legendary animals that exist in the culture.
So they were so cute.
Yeah, the nine tails, like that's an actual thing. It's not just a Pokemon.
Yeah. That was, I didn't even like really get into Pokemon as a kid, and I thought that
everybody.
When I saw Pokemon.
Are we in the Pokemon universe? Did we just cross over?
No.
Oh no!
Did they run out of ideas
already?
There's millions of these books out there.
All right, Shang-Chi, we gotta catch them all. No, and then what I absolutely love is the last Spider-Man movie was very anti machismo, or like it was very guys being positive with guys.
Yeah.
No tricks, no nothing. It was just positivity, guy on guy. Because you don't see that. You like it could have been a perfect opportunity to be like, well, I've had 3 movies, or like, you know, that's sort of like, well, I've defeated, like the way that they shared stories was more sharing stories than up-one each other.
Yeah.
You know, and then like that Toby telling Andrew, like, you're amazing. You need to give yourself more credit. You're amazing. Telling everybody, give this movie credit, but also telling him, hey, I know you need this because I needed this at one point. You're amazing.
You don't always have to be toxic to be
amazing.
Yeah, you can be supportive.
Yeah, like
you can cry.
I you've seen this in the sandwich shop, my sandwich shop, how like it kind of gets kind of machismo, and I get really just like, all right, can we relax? Can we hug each other? What do we got to do? But like, yeah, and then I fall into it too. I will hands up. I will fall into the machismo, like, oh well, whoa, I'm a man, grunting and groaning and whatever, you know, because other men are in the room. But like, we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't like. I love, that's why I love that Spider-Man movie, because it shows just men like appreciating and like holding each other up. King Crown.
Oh yeah, I worked in a couple of like super masculine industries, and like I would say both, but especially my I will say the hospital job, but my hospital job, they would have like posters up saying, you know, get therapy, like it's nothing to feel bad about, it's really brave. And then like when you're really talking about it in the common room, like, like I don't need therapy, I just drink, or like, oh no, I just go on vacation and I smoke cigars every day, you know. And
this is everything.
And at the end of the day, I'm like, no wonder you guys are so grumpy
Yeah.
and so tired.
Yeah.
Because instead of like being caring and supportive, y'all all trying to one up each other, being macho.
Unnecessarily. Like I hate it. I hate feeling it. I hate doing it. It's like a weird thing that just hangs on, and it's bad for young guys because they assume that they need to go down that route in order to like achieve something. So you don't need to like be a womanizer. You don't need to be, you know, you don't have to be that asshole guy. Just be yourself, and then everything works out. That's the one thing I wish I could have told myself like 15 years ago.
Being kind to yourself and others is free.
Yeah.
It's free.
And that's what I learned with Spider-Man. And that's what I learned with Star Wars.
Spider-Man was- and we're back in Star Wars.
We'll get to Star Wars.
But Spider-Man was such a sweet movie. Like, I want to hug those boys.
Yeah.
You sweeties.
It was the best. I loved it. But like, you know, Marvel is pushing more forward to that sort of like we all need a hug right now. Like WandaVision was a fucking delight when it came out because we were all still injured through the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It was still really harsh and we lost people.
Just rewatched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally just rewatched it, Mimi, and then I just all over again. Just awesome.
I'm thinking about doing a multiverse marathon of the last episode of Wanda, last episode of Loki, and Spider-Man in order to watch Doctor Strange 2.
I think that's
Should I?
Yeah.
Should I go through the whole Wanda?
It was Agatha.
I know. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, you should do. I mean, Wanda's actually kind of a short.
It's
series,
really short.
So I think you could.
Yeah, I almost kind of want to now.
You have a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah, because I think those three stories all kind of play into the Doctor Strange stuff. So I'm like, all right. I just need to watch the end because you know that's a lot of TV. But WandaVision was pretty short. They were all half hours. Yeah, that one you know was about trauma and grief. Something we desperately needed at the moment.
I think it's called compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
She did like a really major compartmentalization.
She had a real bit sad.
A bit sad.
She had a bit of a sad that became a big sad and became everyone else's
There
problem.
was a sorrow. A mourning.
She had legit a bad day and is about to make everyone's problem.
What is love if not sad?
I joke only because I did the same thing a few weeks ago. This whole place was just the sitcom. It was Frasier. My whole apartment was a Frasier for a minute. Then it was a Friends. Then a How I Met Your Mother. You know, you're going through it.
All shows I haven't watched.
It's fine. I think it's even funny if you don't know what it is.
And I'm laughing like, haha, I get it. And I have to be like, never mind. I'm not going to pretend I don't get it.
But anyone that's seen those shows is still going to be like, wait, but where's the correlation?
It is okay. I mean, now that we've known each other forever, and like I know this about myself and I hate it, but I will like just sometimes pretend I get something and just go completely blank face. And I just hate when people see it in my face because I'm like trying, I'm like, ha ha ha, that's funny. And they're like, you know, I just said my grandma died. I'm like, what you said was not funny.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. No, I had that too. You know, you do just make normalize not knowing anything. I try to do that, and it has worked out like pretty good. I sometimes I'll fuck around and be like, oh no, I know it, but I don't do it as often as I did before.
But it's like a reaction because truly, I feel like I have a good like confidence level, so I don't think it's like insecurity unless it's super subconscious, which could be very true.
I think that's where I still do it is because it's still in my wheelhouse of confidence where I'm like, yeah, I know that thing. It's like, wait, hold on.
Like my 25-year-old self was always like, I know. Like,
same.
And now I'm just when I say it, I'm like, you didn't learn anything if you keep saying you know, and then you don't, and then you're confused. Like, far down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Also, I run super speedy with with whatever's up here, my ADD. I don't know what this is.
Yes.
So please, at any time, just be like, hey, hands up. What about the Marvels?
But see, that's the problem. The reason we didn't talk about Star Wars in the first place is because of my ADHD.
Oh, no. We'll get to Star Wars. Yeah, we'll get to Star Wars. Don't you worry. We're going to talk about Revenge of the Sith and how that plays into the Obi-Wan. We're going to talk about the Clone Wars and how that plays into Obi-Wan. But first, we're going to deal with this.
Okay. This is like right now at work. Every day we have 3 breaks, and the only break I show up to hang out with everyone is on the 3rd break.
Yeah.
And they always play hacky sack, and they always invite me. And I go, I'll play next break every time they ask, knowing there's not a next break. And only one time I've been called out. Some guy was like, "It's 3rd break." I was like, "You don't know me."
Yeah.
That's us not talking about Star Wars, but talking about we're going to. But see, just like I say, I'm going to on the 3rd break.
We're absolutely going. We're at an hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Like, do you want to keep it?
Maybe for the sake of the podcast and getting more listeners on board, we should cut it off at an hour.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I know we love talking when we get on a roll.
Yeah.
But trying to convince people to do an hour and a half on episode 8 is very hard.
But the thing is, we were gone for so long.
We were.
That's the other thing. Like, if anything, if we have another break, at least there's a good chunk where people can, if they wanted to listen to.
We miss you.
Yeah, we just miss you is all. Whoever, your cousin or whatever.
Hey, Hannah, my sister-in-law. I actually have 2 sisters-in-laws named Hannah.
Do you?
Yeah. Which Ian has 3 because one of my sisters is named Hannah. Yeah, one of the Hannahs.
Yeah, one of them.
So many, all spelled the same.
God, that's gonna be weird.
It's always whenever we say the name, Ian's like, "Wait, which one?"
Are you the family that has the "Hi, my name is" name tags whenever you do family reunions?
Nah, we just all say names wrong anyways.
That's fair.
Mix up the Hannahs, or if you're in my family, you just say a name hoping that you called the right one.
Yeah.
Oldest of 9, so yeah.
That's funny. Did you want to keep going?
I say we cut it in an hour.
Okay.
And that
we'll cut it in
go it again.
Yeah, that's fine. Wow, we were going to totally talk about Star Wars.
That Star Wars talk was so deep.
Yeah, that was a really deep Star Wars talk.
We talked about what we were going to talk about in Star Wars.
I didn't even get to the Gungans and how they're going to play a big role in Kenobi.
Did we even get to Star Wars?
Did we ever? Do we even?
This is the way?
Yeah, this is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah.
I have spoken.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. This is my sister from another mister, Haley.
My brother from another mother, Morgan.
And you've been listening to the Wibbly Wobbly Walflrz podcast.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Class, settle
to
down.
the audience.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, settle down, class. Settle down. We gotta get this right, or nobody gets any chocolate milk for the rest of the term. I will be accompanied by Mr. Cheaterson on the piano. So would everyone please rise for the presentation of our national colors. Shh. Hey, you, zip it. Jerome, show some respect. Spit that gum out. Shut up. I'm gonna frickin' Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that. Come to the place where the tropical breezes blow. Come to the coolest place I know. the cheat. Oh, there's the cheat. In the place where the tropical breezes blow. The cheat in the coolest place I know. And the ones are always cold. And the parties last all night. There's probably lots of chocolate and population tire. Population That was pretty good. I'll tell you what, you guys can get low-fat, sugar-free chocolate skim milk from now on. Yeah. Go back to class.